Cassette Productions here, and today we're going to be ranking the Red Dead Redemption 2 states.
Now, a lot of us in the comments have recommended this, so we're gonna do it, and there's only 5, so we'll get right into it.
So we'll start off with my number 5, which I actually said Amberino.
All right.
And the reason I said that is, honestly, compared to the rest of the map, Amberino really doesn't have that much. Like, Coulter is technically in this area, and mainly that's it. Like, you have the Indian reservation, but I don't know, compared to, like, the rest of the map, there's not even hardly a town. I don't even think there is, like, a real town here.
No, I don't. Yeah, Amberino actually is my 5th as well. It's mainly just like the tutorial position of the game. There's not really
Mhm.
much to do. I mean, there is some cool like hunting spots up there because like, you got like different cool animals up there and stuff, and it's unique, right? Because it's the only snowy biome in the game.
Yeah,
Kind
and
of
it's
take
cool. It's basically just like the scenery of the map. It's like there's nothing to do. It's literally just scenery.
Yeah, I do like the Wapati reservation up there, how it's like that is a cool part of the game. I wish you actually would have went there sooner because it really doesn't feature much in the game, you know? Like the only time
Mhm.
you really go there is if you go there.
Right. I don't even think in the missions with the Indians you went there, did you?
I think you did go there sometimes to like start missions. Just
Maybe.
vaguely
But
remember.
honestly, that's the thing. Like it was not that big of an impact, you know? Like it wasn't like any of the other cities or towns floating around.
No, no. Honestly, they didn't even really include the natives in the game. Really,
They only had like
and yeah,
two missions with them.
they had a great opportunity to like add them in the game, right? But they didn't. But that's
Yeah.
sidetrack. But yeah, Amberino, not really much. Not really
No.
much.
So that'll take us to number 4. My number 4, I actually said New Austin. Now, we're ranking this based on, Red Dead 2, the New Austin area, there's really not much here in New Austin. You have Armadillo and Tumbleweed. And Armadillo is basically plague infested and Tumbleweed is on its way out. So there's not really too much of a reason to go here. Hell, as Arthur, you can't even go here because you're blocked by Blackwater and that area being like basically air quotes quarantined off because
Hmm.
you're wanted. So it's almost just kind of like meh, you know. The only reason it's there is just because it's got more to do than Amberino.
Right, and I completely agree. That is my number 4 as well, New Austin. Yeah, it's just an add-on in this game. It's just an add-on. I do like in the after game when you have the house and you have everything set up in that area, and it's a nice little area to be, right? It's different, but I mean, how far do people really go in the epilogue, right? The main meat of the game is in the main area, and I mean, look at the map. Look at the map of Red Dead 2. It's perfectly constructed in like a square, and then you just have this branch off, this Texas looking branch off of New Austin. Uh,
Basically, just because they had to include it because it was in the original game,
yeah.
you
Which
know?
I will give them a lot of props being able to like connect. Like they had no idea about Red Dead 2 when they made Red
Oh,
Dead 1,
yeah, and it
right?
was cool that they did it like that, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah, New Austin number 4.
Yeah, that was pretty neat that they did connect it. So for me, my number 3 is actually going to be West Elizabeth.
Okay.
And, I mean, first off, Blackwater is not my favorite place, as we've, discussed before in one of our previous videos, and really the only other place there is Strawberry. Now, Strawberry is a very nice town, very beautiful. I love the scenery of Strawberry, but I don't think it's enough to save the area compared to the other 2 spots that are floating around, you know?
Hmm.
It is a nice area, it's a nice location, but again, it's just kinda I'm not a fan of Blackwater to begin with, and honestly, going down this way, I never really explored too much after the game because I'd already seen half of it in Red Dead 1, and I wasn't too interested in seeing the rest of it, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that part of West Elizabeth was definitely misutilized a little bit. I will go with my number 3, which is actually Lemoyne.
Oh,
Different.
really?
Yeah. First difference, Lemoyne. I do love the Louisiana style of, this area, the swampy type area, right? We have New Orleans. which is, Saint Denis, right? That's what they based it
Hmm.
off of. So don't come after me, comments. But I do love the city. It's the only city, and it's a sign of the dying times in Red Dead 2. It's the sign of the dying West. I really like this area. I will say, overall, this map, they did a fantastic job at making the map unique and interesting and diverse. Like, every place feels different. And Lemoyne, you also have roads in this area too. You got the alligators, you got the night folk, you got a lot of stuff going on in this area that covers this little corner of the game, this little corner of the game. And there's a ton to do. Lemoyne's great. I think my top three are just fantastic places to be, and I don't mind being anywhere in these places. Um,
Right.
Lemoyne number three for me.
Okay. A little surprised by that one, but I'm not far off. My number two, I actually said Lemoyne. I like Saint Denis. It's neat that it's like an actual like city. It's got the trolley cars. It's hustling, bustling. Rhodes was pretty nice too. I did really like Rhodes, and it's cool that it's like a swampy area. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have the swamp, the gators, all that. That's pretty cool. Lagras was actually stuck in here too, but or La Gray, La Gra, whatever it is.
LaGrasse.
But
Black.
either way, like I just don't think it was enough to make it the number one spot.
Yeah,
It was cool and all, but there was one spot that I really spent most of my time in the game, and I just think it was a better place.
I think that's a very base take. My number two is West Elizabeth. Yes, West Elizabeth, kind of Colorado, California-esque area. I love. You did mention Strawberry and Blackwater. Blackwater's like the stepchild that we don't talk about in West Elizabeth. Strawberry's where it's at. It's popping, and then you also have Big Valley, which is like this Great Plains area, which mimics the real life Great Plains of the United States,
Hmm.
and it's based on Yosemite Valley, which I think is fantastic. It's a place I want to go. Just real beautiful area, and it's like the smallest area I think in the game. It's like the smallest state in the game, and there's parts you can't even access in the beginning of the game, like Blackwater. Um, so that does hamper it a bit, but I do really think it's just like I think it goes hand in hand with New Hanover.
Right.
I think they're very similar, like connected wise. Like they look very similar. I think West Elizabeth is just a bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Foresty, more forestry
Right.
there than compared to New
More
Hanover.
scenery.
Yeah. But yeah, I can see Lemoyne being over it. They're so unique and diverse, each one of them, that I get it.
Right. Well, that's gonna take us to our number ones, which is they both should be the same thing, which is New Hanover.
Mm-hmm.
Um, New Hanover was basically, I would say, almost perfect. Valentine, probably one of the best towns in the game, no contest. Then you had Emerald Ranch. You had the fence there, and you had the area, which was pretty cool. Really nice, wide open like plains. You could do a lot here. And then all the way over in the corner, which is so weird that they considered it part of it, but you had Van Horn and you had Annisburg, which I did like Annisburg. Van Horn was cool because it was basically a lawless wasteland, and you just got away with whatever the hell you wanted to do as long as you could survive. But yeah, it was just very beautiful heartland of the game. It was a nice spot to be centered around, and most of the game you are centered around it. You figure you can't go near Blackwater, you can't go down into New Austin most of the game,
Right.
so you're mostly going to spend a chunk of your time around New Hanover or Lemoyne. Because
Mm-hmm.
really, what's the point of going up to Amberino? There's like none. The only other place is Strawberry. But honestly, half the time Strawberry is way out of the way compared to everything. So that's why I think New Hanover had to be the best area in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. New Hanover is straight up gorgeous. You have the Chapter 2 camp, which is right in like the heart of everything, and
Right.
Valentine. And, talk about Great Plains. These are these wide open plains and just absolutely breathtaking plains. Like, I think Red Dead 2 contributed to my love of like scenery and stuff,
Oh
um,
yeah, for real.
because like it's straight up gorgeous at times. Like these really open plain fields, not a city in sight, not, just farmland everywhere. I mean, just straight up open fields, and you got tons of animals to hunt out there, and tons of animals. You really get to see a lot of the animals because it's so open, like the
Right.
bison or whatever's around, rabbits, whatnot. Yeah, I think it's pretty much mimics Wyoming in a sense, Colorado, somewhere in that range, and it's just breathtaking. There's a reason why they center the whole game around it because it's the most easy place to get into. It's
Right.
so yeah, New Hanover for both of us.
No contest.
I think that is it for us. That is our ranking of the states. We have a ton of other Red Dead Redemption 2 videos. Check it out, the playlist. It will be somewhere on screen, hopefully.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.